would be great.
Really?
There we go.
They're not all.
Now we got to be careful about what we say about Bobby and Rob and that whole Carmel group and stuff like that. Be nice, everybody.
Yes.
Well, welcome everybody. My name is George Perry. I'm the guy that stepped out of the room last year and was elected president of the Hall of Fame. Subjected to me for this evening and things like that. Thanks a lot to Steve Franklin for helping out with all of the collecting the nominations and getting them tabulated, getting them sent out to our selection committee, and then get all that stuff back. Greatly appreciate all the help with that, Steve. All the stuff we do going back and forth. But tonight is about two individuals in a nice group, and we're extremely excited to have our new inductees into the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame this year. It's been great. The process that we're going to go by tonight is I'm going to do a very brief introduction about the inductee, but actually introduce the person that nominated the inductee or inductees and let them kind of go into a little bit more. Steve is responsible for the hook. So if the introduction of the inductees goes beyond, I don't know, 35 or 40 minutes each, we'll cut them off and we'll go from there.
Danny Yeftich rules are in effect.
Yeah.
Rules are in effect. Yes, that's true. But no, we want everybody to enjoy it. But we're going to do the person that nominated the inductee, and then we will let them. We'll introduce them. We'll certainly let the inductee have some time to say what they would like to say. We'll go through all three, and then afterwards we'll keep this thing on if people want to socialize a little bit as best we can in a Zoom manner and stuff like that. It's always challenging with this. One thing we want everyone to know is that by hook or crook, we are going to have an in-person AGM next year. I don't know if it's us going out to Grand Park and being outside where it's safer or whatever, but no matter what, we're going to do it. And so we will be recognizing all the inductees in person next year at our AGM. And there will be an opportunity where just the Hall of Fame group like this gets together, and obviously family and friends of the inductees are invited to join us for that. And then at the they'll get a chance to again thank the people they want to thank and do things in person. And then at the awards banquet itself, the inductee alone will be able to get up and be introduced again. I don't really know if that person's going to have an opportunity to say a whole lot at that time, but you'll have an opportunity to certainly say it in front of all the family and friends that'll be at the Hall of Fame gala that we do kind of before the award ceremony. So that's what our protocol is going forward. But with that said, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves started. And the gentleman in the USAI cap, Mr. Tom Geis, was kind enough to nominate Rob Jordan. Rob is a talent in many areas. Rob, there was one thing in your resume that almost kept you from becoming part of the Hall of Fame. And that is when you made the decision my son's senior year to actually allow me to train the goalkeepers. That almost took you completely off the list of doing anything responsible good for the players' benefits. Looking beyond that, you certainly have a storied history in high school soccer, but even more so to this Hall of Fame of what you've done with club soccer, with youth soccer in the state of Indiana, and all the work with the various clubs that you've been with, the state champions that you've coached, runners up, and players that you've just helped move on to be very successful, whether it was on the field, in the school, or certainly in the business world, or whatever decisions they made later on. But I'm going to let Tom go into a lot more detail, I hope, than what I just did. So Tom, I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce Rob, please.
Thank you, Coach Perry, and thank you, Coach Franklin. I'm honored to be able to tell you just a bit about Rob Jordan. He's coached both Indiana high school and Indiana club soccer for over 35 years. He's coached over 700 club players with over 600 wins. He's coached over 1,500 high school players with over 450 wins. It's remarkable. He took over a fledgling men's program at Pike High School and built it into a powerhouse over several decades. He moved to Zionsville High School men's program a couple of years ago, and soon after, of course, the team was finalists, and then the next year won the Indiana High School State Championship. And as Coach Perry just said, there were several Indiana State Cup championships over the years as well at Indy United, Dynamo, Indy Burn, and USA of Indiana. So not surprisingly, people notice. So the list of Rob Jordan coaching honors that we sent in to Coach Perry and Coach Franklin is a page long, single space. Here's just a couple. He was inducted into the Indiana High School Coaches Hall of Fame in 2010. He was twice selected to represent Indiana as the state's top high school coach. 3 years ago at the Baltimore National Soccer Convention, he was named United Soccer Coaches Great Lakes Region Coach of the Year. And in 2020, he was named United Soccer Coaches Coach of Significance. However, more than all the well-deserved honors and recognition, I believe what matters most to Rob Jordan, the man, is the huge impact he's had on thousands of young men who played on his teams. And I heard from many putting this nomination together. It's apparent Rob deeply cares for each of his players. He started scores and scores of former players on their own coaching careers. They credit Coach Jordan's leadership and caring coaching when they were younger as positive influence on their lives. We know several of those coaches whose coaching careers began while they were still at Pike High School when Coach Jordan sent them over to Pike Youth Soccer Club to coach rec league teams. Some of those young men are still coaching today, 30 years later. Each member of the current Pike High School men's coaching staff played for Rob when they were at Pike High School. The new Brownsburg High School men's coach and the former Pike High School women's coach played for Rob. The coaching ranks for Indy Burn, Dynamo, and USA of Indiana are well represented by former players of Rob Jordan. Not surprisingly, they are often the most well-respected and best qualified coaches. So Kevin Valenti is one such former player for Rob and a longtime school and club coach. He wrote, Coach Jordan helped hundreds of his former players continue their soccer journey as college players. Rob inspired many of us to give back to the game. Coach Jordan impacted the game in a way that can't be recorded in a stat book. Many of us would not have had the opportunity to give back to the game or have the passion we do for the game if not for Rob Jordan. So thanks, Kevin. Another former player, Justin, wrote, Coach Jordan taught his players that we could bend but not break. I still use this philosophy in my daily life. I've had some difficult times in my life, and Coach Jordan is always there for me. I've had a lot of coaches. I firmly believe the best coaches are the coaches that not only teach the game and teach us to love the game, but also teach life lessons and want to see you succeed in life. I think Rob Jordan embodies that more than any other coach I've ever had. So thanks, Justin, for that note. Dan Capsalis is in both the Indiana Coaches Hall of Fame and the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame. Dan wrote, for over 35 years, Rob has contributed to Indiana soccer very quietly and humbly, never bringing attention to himself or taking credit for his accomplishments. Rob Jordan leads his players by example. Rob is a tremendous role model and inspiration to many coaches. Rob's low-key, quiet style masks his lion-hearted and unselfish desire to constantly add value and protect and honor the game. So thanks, Danny. I believe less than half of Rob's contributions would more than qualify him for the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame, but there's more. Rob Jordan is responsible for creating the award-winning USA of Indiana Have a Ball fitness program. So our Have a Ball program has reached over 70,000 school-age children, introducing each to soccer with an Indiana-approved school curriculum. And finally, in addition to 35 years of coaching both school and club, Rob Jordan somehow makes the time to give back to his community as a decades-long member of the board of directors of United Soccer Alliance of Indiana, Pike Youth Soccer Club, Brownsburg Junior Soccer League, Fusion Soccer Academy, and Community Through Youth Sport Foundation. So luckily, this probably was Rob's idea. We hold all 5 corporation board meetings simultaneously. Otherwise, Rob would never find the time to ride his motorcycle. So please help welcome Rob Jordan to the Indiana Soccer Association Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Rob.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. It's times like this that I wish I paid more attention to my COM 144 speech class. So be kind to me as I go through my speech. First, I'd like to thank my family. Coaching takes a lot of time, particularly time that would be most likely spent with family. Fortunately, both my sons play soccer and we had a lot of time together. I want to thank my wife, Susie, for letting me pursue my coaching career. I don't know if she knows the extent of what she was getting into, but we planned our wedding and honeymoon between our soccer seasons. She did get a bit upset when she found out I played a game on the day of our wedding, but she is the rock of our family, and my sons and I adore her very much. I thank my sons, Matthew and Joshua. They are the pride and joy of Susie and me. We were incredibly blessed with their birth and the people they have become. Both are now married and have brought to our family two lovely wives, Haley and Kayla. Yeah, my mom is online tonight. She's with my brother and his wife, Melissa. I tried last night over the phone for at least an hour trying to get Zoom put on her iPad, and that just did not work. But thankfully, my brother was over there and he took care of that today. And I also saw that my sister Sherry is also on the line as well tonight. And what a nice speech by Tom. I greatly appreciate that, Tom. I think we should definitely install the 5-minute rule for you on our board meetings. But, Tom is such a big-hearted person. A lot of people just don't know and fully understand what Tom has done. A lot of what he does is behind the scenes. I know firsthand some of the great things he's done for people and helped them, particularly people that were in need. He won't say no. He's just an incredible person, and I greatly appreciate him putting together my nomination and supporting my induction into the Hall of Fame. Also, would like to thank the following for the nomination letters. Tom kind of touched on them just briefly, but Greg Davidson, Dan Capsalis, Kevin Valente, Bill Veith, Bill Walters, and Justin Winterbourg. Really appreciate all that they did to send in their nomination letters. And I'd like to thank Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame for inducting me into the Hall of Fame. I'm amazed and humbled to be included with such incredible people who have done so much for soccer. I was excited to get the phone call from George Perry and Coach Franklin let me know that I was going to be inducted. Thank you, Coach Perry, Coach Franklin, Coach Malk, and the selection committee. I've always tried to surround myself with the brightest and best coaches available. I've been blessed to have had incredible assistant coaches: Theron Smith, Shane Rice, Avery Petty, Kevin Valente, Jason Brown, Nick Knoll, Jason Donkersloot, Mosh Winnie, Ernest Winnie, Tom Wheeler, Eric Parker, Nate Omer, Aaron Kelsey, Tristan Lane, Wayne Bile, Larry Lindsay, and Jim Fowles. Without those guys, I would never have any kind of success that I've been fortunate to have with the players. I'd also like to thank some of the people who affected a lot of the direction of my coaching career. Those people that kind of changed your pattern and your flight of your career. First was Coach Cliff Barber, gave me my first opportunity to coach. I became the JV coach at Pike High School. It was hard to find coaches. Not sure if Coach Barber wanted to hire an inexperienced coach, but I was willing and wanted to get into coaching. I'm glad that Coach Barber hired me. I started the season and began the first day. I started late, actually, and my first day was a day of a game. I knew none of the players, none of the positions. I didn't know how to sub anybody. So it was an interesting day, to say the least. We played our JV games behind the school down in the flood zone next to a creek. We had one game ball. We're so fortunate now to have such great facilities and equipment, but back then, I think we had like 8 balls that we had to share between 2 teams and one game ball between 2 teams. But we had to play next to the creek, and I spent probably the majority of the game out in the creek, wading in the water, trying to get the ball back. But it was one of those days. It was, welcome to coaching. Dave McKinney was a father of one of the players on the Dynamo 73 team. He got me connected to Dynamo and coaching Dynamo 73 team. Dan Capsalis was kind enough to bring me in to coach with Indianapolis United. Danny did an incredible job creating and running Indianapolis United. So the most enjoyable coaching years was with Indianapolis United. Greg Shellhouse is athletic director at Zionsville High School, his best athletic director in the state. Greg was responsible for recruiting and hired me to run the boys soccer team. Tom Geis for bringing me back to Indy Burn, USAI, where I've been a coach and board member for many years. Somehow he's managed to keep me even with his long-winded speeches. But we enjoy Tom. When I first started coaching, it was difficult to find training, coaching info, and resources. Google wasn't around, and that does make me feel old. We are fortunate that Indiana Soccer, United Soccer Coaches, and USSF have created great coaching development programs, and we are blessed to have in our state national level trainers in Coach Vince Gansberg and Coach Steve Franklin. I did manage to find books and resource materials, as well as going through the state and national licensing courses. I realized there was also great training resources in the coaches in our state. Not only soccer coaches, but other sports as well. I attended and observed training sessions of both baseball, basketball, football, and of course, soccer. I watched the games of successful coaches and asked 1,000 questions. I begged, borrowed, and stole every bit of information I could obtain. There's a group of people that have stood out over the years that probably don't know, but I've modeled a lot of how I coach after them. Coach Dan Capsalis has an unbridled joy for the game and the players. He's determined and driven. He was about celebrating the moments when they happen, enjoy the game. Danny is also my Bruce Springsteen buddy, and we've been to many states in concert. We also even managed to drag out Coach Gansberg to St. Louis for a concert. Me and Danny also did a tour of Springsteen's hometown, Freehold, New Jersey. We're not stalkers, but we're probably pretty close. Coach George Perry. This kind of gets back to his story. It's kind of funny we circled back to that. You mentioned that earlier. Coach George Perry for determination, giving back and pushing through adversity. For those of you who remember George walking before his knee surgeries, you understand the pain he was going through. It even made me hurt to watch him walk. George volunteered to train the goalies. I actually had to beg him, but he was so kind and nice to come out and help us. But George came out and he trained our goalies at Zionsville High School for 1 year, and he never missed a training session. And he would sit there with his bad knees and he'd serve balls in the keepers, for the whole training session. And I say, if George can go through that, I can push through anything at all. Coach Bill Vieve. First time we met was at the end of the 1990 state championship game where his Memorial team beat Pike 2-1. Bill took the time to talk to me after the game. I don't really remember what we talked about or what we discussed, but I've always been impressed with Bill. He's a humble in victory and complimentary in defeat, even though he doesn't lose very often. Coach Darren Smith has an unbridled passion and joy for the game. He always has a smile on his face and laughs at my stupid jokes and comments. Darren played for me at Pike and club soccer as well. I tried for years to get Darren to come coach at Pike, and eventually did take over the JV team. We've been fortunate enough to have coached numerous teams together throughout the years, and it was been really exciting a few years ago when the state named Theron and myself the girls coach of the year, and that was such a neat thing to do that with Theron. My life has been better for having Theron in it. I really enjoyed Theron. And of course, my father, Charles Jordan, was always supportive of my coaching. He would come to my games and chase my son Matthew around the sideline. It was always kind of fun. I don't know that he ever actually watched any of the games, but Matthew was a pretty active kid. When I first started, I found it difficult. When I first started coaching. What was my coaching style? How do you interact with players and parents? How do you deal with success? How do you deal with failure? How do you create starting lineups? What technical and tactical issues needed to be addressed? And how do I set up a proper session? I want my players to be successful and win. When I first started coaching, I believe that the team's success in my coaching would be judged by the number of wins. We all want to win, but it didn't take me long to understand the game teaches so much more than winning and losing. The game teaches success in school, discipline, determination, teamwork, relationship, aspirations, goals, and respect, to name a few. Coaching became about a culture of expectation that allowed the players to be successful on the soccer field in all aspects of their life. The love of the game and playing is also a great motivator for those that don't understand the importance of academic success. The thought of not playing due to low grades is a great motivator. Had a young man from Senegal, El Hadji Dieng, ended up being a high school All-American, moved into Pike his sophomore year. He didn't go to school on the first day of school, but showed up to practice. He was given a very short and terse message: no school, no practice, go home. He never missed school again. He spoke French, Waldo, and a little bit of English that he learned from watching MTV. He sounded like Flavor Flav and the cast of the Jersey Shore. He survived his sophomore year and picked up speaking and writing English. During the school year, he took day classes and went to night school, all while working with his uncle delivering papers in the morning. He took summer school in the morning at Pike and would ride his bike to North Central to take classes in the afternoon. He completed 4 years of high school classes in 2 years, got a full ride scholarship to Xavier where he played and graduated in 4 years. Without soccer, he would have a difficult time just even graduating from high school, and he definitely would not have been a college graduate. I've always felt that I was lucky in the right place at the right time. Soccer has given me an incredible gift of both highs and low experiences. The opportunity to coach my sons, Matthew and Joshua, in club and high school. When my oldest son was 9, he asked, why was I going to coach a game and not see his game? He probably regretted that, saying that, because I started coaching his teams. But to me, it was a joy, as well as coaching my son Joshua's teams as well. It's given my sons the common love of the game, and they both support Arsenal. It's allowed me to see both my boys play collegiately on the same team when they were a senior and a freshman. It's given me the opportunity to travel overseas 3 times, incredible experiences. It's allowed me to witness the absolute joy of a team winning a high school state championship. I watched a club team with no confidence in themselves and a team become a team that was winning the league and tournaments. I've seen players grow up, start families, and become successful people. And it's so neat when they bring their kids out to meet you. I've been fortunate to have been involved with some amazing moments. There's always been low points as well. Injuries in these seasons, sometimes careers. Losing a high school state championship with 20 seconds left in the second overtime on a header goal. Seeing the pain in the eyes of my son when his team lost in PKs in the sectional finals. And the worst probably 3 days my soccer career ever, the untimely death of 3 former players, Mike Robinson, Ryan Shook, and Nate Omer. There's not hardly a day that goes by that I don't think of those 3. In conclusion, I've been blessed to have coached for 35 years and still counting. To have been allowed by the players and parents to coach over thousands of players is truly astonishing. To have shared part of their life's journey has been my privilege, and I cherish it deeply. The accolades and incredible honor of being inducted into the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame is directly attributed to the players, parents, and coaches. For all that have helped and supported me, I'm gratefully thankful. Thank you, Indiana Soccer, for inducting me in the Hall of Fame. It's a humbling and amazing to be part of this prestigious group. Thank you very much.
Very well done, Rob and Tom. Thank you both very much for just doing a great job. And again, congratulations. The first of my 3 toasts tonight. So there you go. Okay, on to our next inductee, Bobby Porzingis. And we're going to have Eric Magner, who's one of the nominated Bobby for this for the Hall of Fame. We'll be introducing him in just a moment. And my biggest pet peeve with Bobby was, I can't remember exactly what years it was that I lived in Fort Wayne, but when my oldest son went to play for him, I said, look, you got one thing and one thing only to do. You got to make sure that he's quicker and faster, and you failed on both of them. So Bobby, I know there's all this science crap about fast twitch and slow twitch fibers. I don't believe any of that science kind of stuff. I don't believe it. I think you should have been able to do a better job of that. So
It's called perigenetics.
Yes. Yes.
no, but I did have, some firsthand knowledge of Bobby when working with my son and stuff like that when I lived in Fort Wayne and taught at Canterbury School, and doing all of that. But he's been a former pro player, men's state team coach here in Indiana, high school coach, club coach. He's done it all. He's developed an incredible club, an incredible staff that he surrounds himself with, which is what all good people do. Rob made comment of that in his comments about the staff that he's had that's worked with him, and that's what good people do. They're never afraid to bring in good people, because all it does is it provides a better opportunity for everybody around them. So Eric, if you don't mind, I'd like to turn this over to you to introduce one of our newest members of the Hall of Fame, please.
That's great. Thank you so much, George. First of all, I want to thank the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame nomination committee for accepting my endorsement to nominate Bobby Personides for the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Bobby, Indiana Soccer Hall of Famer. Bobby, you have made pivotal and immense contributions to the field of youth soccer coaching and young player development in Indiana. For over 20 years, you have coached and developed over 1,000 young soccer players, girls and boys, that went on to play for NCAA D1, ND2, and NIA in universities, with many of them receiving part or full ride athletic scholarships. You have influenced the development of many young players to national and international success, such as DeMarcus and Jamal Beasley, Sarah Killian Waldmore, Akil Watts, Max Toulouse, Amelia White, Reese Markmeister, Emerson Nieto, and so many more. It is the combination of a European influenced player with a devotion to soccer that made you one of the most successful coaches for young player development in Indiana. Your ability to share your passion, knowledge, and experience with other coaches helped to make your club, United FC, out of Fort Wayne, one of the highest regarded soccer clubs and development academies in Indiana. Teams that you have coached at the club level or at ODP won numerous regional, state, and national championships. You have achieved outstanding success and significant accomplishments that have and will impact the game of soccer in Indiana and the Midwest for many, many years to come. Congratulations, Bobby. You deserve the highest merit of recognition and the induction into the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Bobby.
Thank you so much, Eric. Wow. Oh, my goodness. What an honor this is for those of us being inducted today for contributions to the sport of soccer. The truth is, this beautiful game has given me so much in life. And today's just another humbling example of that. Eric, thank you so much for the kind words in the introduction and all the individuals that have helped you put together these nominations and to have me here today talking about being in the Hall of Fame. I appreciate you sacrificing your time to do this for me. Thank you so much. I want to also thank the State Association and the Hall of Fame Committee. It's an honor. I am blessed. I love this game. It is a privilege and it has been a privilege. And when George and Steve called me to talk to me, and obviously they razzed me for a little while before they finally broke the news. After we were done, I sat there and thought about it. What does the Hall of Fame mean to me? And the first thing I thought about is that I'm old. That's the first thing. I feel like definitely I'm old. The other thing it did for me is it gave me an opportunity to reflect. And I don't get to do that very often. And some of you guys know that because life has become so busy now. You're going from one place to the other and you just don't get a chance to reflect. And it gave me an opportunity to reflect a little bit about all the things and more importantly, the amount of years that I've been involved in the coaching side of it. The first thing I think about is I'm thankful. I'm thankful when I think about accomplishments and I think about achievements. It is about the team. The reason I'm here is I owe it to all the players, the coaches, the staff, the families. I do feel like getting inducted is a win for everybody that's been associated with me and has been part of my life while we share this incredible sport. It is the greatest sport that has ever been invented. The other thing that it reminds me is that it's family. It's a fraternity. Being part of a group. We all, depending on our personal backgrounds, we get to share this incredible sport and share our knowledge and talk about this game and about being in the trenches and all the experiences. And as I listened to Rob, I reflected a lot. I reflected a lot about the things he said and made me go back a lot of years, although some of them I don't remember. People remind me as I get older. I guess I'm going to be forgetting a lot of things, but it is a family and it is a fraternity. I'm thankful, and I hope you guys can bear with me because there are people that I want to thank. First and foremost, I want to thank my family. my father. I'm going to try to, I lost him a year and a half ago. He was a very important part of my life. And my mother, you know, the one thing I know I've gained from them was incredible work ethic, determination, courage, and passion. You know, they were just, they never gave up. They came to this country with nothing. And, you know, and then look what they've done. They've accomplished so much for us. Here I am today, and my sisters, for all the support. Although they think they're better soccer players than I don't believe so. But they both have been a very important part of my life, my sisters, and they're on today. So I thank them because they've always been great supporters. My nieces, my nephews, my wife's been a great support for me for the last 28 some years. She's been awesome and been one of my biggest fans. So my family has been a huge part of my life and have helped me become the man I am today. I think back as a player, you know, I think back in Philadelphia. I grew up in Philadelphia, and I've been influenced by so many different individuals, and I thank them. I thank them an awful lot. I think about them an awful lot. One of them was David McWilliams, who played professionally. He went to my high school, went to Frankfurt High School in Philadelphia, North Philly, and he was a big part of my life. And you know, I was very young and didn't understand much other than the fact that I loved the game and I played the game. But he helped me improve my skills and also exposed me to the next man, which was Walt Chislewicz. You know, I had the opportunity to be around a great man like Walt. And not only that, he exposed me to so many other great professionals. I was fortunate to be part of a professional club, and I was exposed to a lot of Philadelphia Atom players. I don't know if you guys know the Philadelphia Atoms way back, but Lou Meal, Woody Hartman, these guys were part of my my youth. And the number one thing that really helped me improve and take my game to a different level was the exposure that they provided. I just remember constantly being invited to play, whether it was a youth game or it was an adult game, and they were just an integral part of my life. George O'Neill, you know, George O'Neill was one of the toughest coaches I've had, and I wanted to thank him before he passed. He was the toughest. You know, he was hard on me to the point where I felt like maybe he didn't like me as a player. But what I've come to realize as I've gotten older and think back, becoming a coach, was that he cared so much for me and my abilities that he always paid attention and always pushed me to change my game. And for that, I was very, very thankful. Bill Wilkinson, what a great man. May God rest his soul. He was my college coach, and he was a big reason I stayed in the States. There was a time when I was a 17-year-old young man that I had an opportunity to sign a professional contract in Greece. And, you know, he stayed with me, and he talked me through all the challenges that I would be facing as a young man if I were to make that decision, and helped me and impacted my life. As I know, my father always asked me to make sure that I do one thing, and that is get my degree before I consider doing anything else in soccer. And for that, I was thankful, and I made sure that I fulfilled that promise. But Bill Wilkinson was an awesome individual. He was not only a great coach, but he was also a great man. He was a player's coach. You know, he took the time to not only help us individually, but he did such a great job of keeping us united, and was a great friend other than just being a great coach. Pete Maylock. Some of you guys may not know Pete Maylock, but he's a big reason why I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana. You know, he's the one that brought professional soccer in Fort Wayne. You know, that's when the Fort Wayne Flames were around. And I was just saying earlier, it was, gosh, I think it's been 35 years, but I feel Pete, you know, started it all. You know, he brought professional soccer here and exposed the community to this great sport. And back then the NSL died, so there was nothing else other than pro indoor soccer, and the American people loved excitement and wanted to watch the game, and that was the way to introduce this game to everyone. So for that, I was very thankful for people because he brought me here. As a matter of fact, when he recruited me from New York, when I was playing over there, I remember I couldn't really understand him very well because he had this huge mustache over his face, and he was telling me that I was, you know, how would I like to play for Fort Wayne, Indiana? Well, at that time, I thought it was Fort Worth, Texas. So I thought I was going somewhere else instead of Fort Wayne, Indiana. I didn't realize where Fort Wayne was. And, you know, I was thankful that Pete opened the doors for me and got me here. And Fort Wayne should be very, very proud of all their accomplishments. everyone involved. Ron Pfeiffer, you know, he's the guy that made it, you know, out of Fort Wayne, you know, had a professional career, you know, has paved the way for so many players after him. And I had the opportunity to play with Braun and also coach with Braun. So, you know, he was that individual that, you know, if you want it bad enough, if you work hard enough, and if you're determined and committed, that great things are going to happen. And for that, I feel Braun was an integral part of the growth and the excitement in Fort Wayne. So for that, I feel Fort Wayne has done very well in the last 25, 30 years. As I played and loved this game so much, there was a time where I had to move on and get into coaching. It was not easy. You know, here you are playing the game, you know, and be able to do so many things naturally. You know, now you have to take that game and now try to translate that to young people and help them understand. And for me, although I enjoyed the game and played it at a high level, you know, coaching is incredibly different, you know, and teaching is a craft. So for me, there were many people that affected my life when I got into coaching, because I knew what coaching meant. It meant impacting people, and it meant understanding what you know and the progressions of teaching this game, character building, you know, influencing, serving. You know, it was a different type of gratification for me. And the one thing I did know for sure, because I wasn't sure what I was embarking into, was that the field was my haven. I loved playing. It was an opportunity for me to release and to use my imagination and to perform and to play and to and enjoy it immensely. And coaching, I wasn't sure, but the gratification I had watching players develop was incredible. You know, the coaching education is such an important part. And I'm hoping, like Rob said, that more and more people take advantage of this. And it's great that Steve is on top of it and is pushing more people to get educated, because I feel that that's what helped me change my abilities to be able to translate this game. John Ellinger was important in my life, because when I got into my B license and my A license, and trust me, the C, the B, and the A is a lot harder, much more demanding. And I'm glad they keep evolving and keep changing it, because it's necessary. Because when I took my B, and some of the guys that I played Pro Bowl with, we went and took it. Although we knew soccer was teaching, it was way different. And learning all of that in a week was rough. You know, it was like a cram session. So the coaching education piece of it, I do thank John Ellinger for helping me and take the time to expose me to so much. Another name that some of you guys will hopefully remember, who affected my life during my young years as I got into coaching, was Jimmy Carson Sr. I love that man. It took me a while to understand him, you know, because of his strong accent, but this guy has done so much for soccer here in Indiana. And this guy, you know, had such an incredible belief in me, and asked me to participate with the state team. And I got to do that for about 7 years. And along the way, it was amazing. You know, we won, like, I think it was 5 or 6 regional titles, which is great for Indiana because there's some stiff competition in Region 2. And then we got to experience a national championship. It was pretty awesome. You know, got to, and I don't want to say coach these players. I got to manage a lot of these players. They were so talented, and I was so fortunate to be part of that journey, you know, to be able to coach or manage those teams during those years. I've created some great relationships over the years. I want to also thank all the directors, the coaches I met over the years and collaborated with. I was, and I am very, very fortunate. Although all the players, although you felt that you've learned a lot from me, guess what? I learned from you even more. And that was happening to me pretty regularly. On the personal level and the business level, I want to thank Tom Lapsley, who was a crazy Scotsman, who clearly understand his accent for sure, just because I've been around him so long. The smartest individual I know, most given person, a great role model. And like my mom always said, Bobby brother, he truly is my brother. And I just, I'm very thankful because I was a young guy that loved the game, but I just didn't understand the business side of it. And he helped me improve my business acumen and help me fulfill my dream, which was also his dream. You know, he played semi-pro ball in Scotland and loved the game so much and gave so much to the game. So for that, I was very, very thankful that I was able to do this with him in Fort Wayne for the last 25 to 30 years. I'm also appreciative of all the players that have been involved with, especially the Beasley brothers. For Joetta and Henry, they're awesome people. They're just incredible role models and great parents. They did such a great job with Jamar and DeMarcus. Jamar was one of the most exceptional players I've ever seen. During his youth, he was by far the most dominating player I have ever seen. And I enjoyed being part of his life, and also DeMarcus. What an extraordinary journey to witness firsthand. Yet another example of Fort Wayne roots making it to the world stage, and obviously paving the way for so many. Great family, great young men, and they are continuing to give back. I really am thankful. The last part I want to say is forgiveness. You know, forgiveness. Oh, I apologize to who may have I offended in the past. You know, my passion and competitive spirit got in the way, and I'm sure got the best of me. And some of you guys know that. Some of you guys have been around me and have seen me in action during my young years. Very emotional. I love this game, and at times I forgot the part that Rob talked about. It wasn't so much winning, it was just I hated losing that much, and at the same time I wanted our kids to be so successful. And I know that sometimes it got the worst of me, but I will say what I've heard is that the male brain doesn't mature until you're about 40 years old. So that's my excuse for all those reasonings for my chaotic moves that I've had in the past. Or maybe in my case, it took me a lot longer than after 40 years old, but I do want to apologize to those for my emotions and also my passion and my competitive spirit. I want to congratulate the inductees for 2022, to Rob and also Gene Lindley and the Cyclones. I know Gene. I've known Gene for many, many years. Another great individual. He's done so much for soccer. I remember that team. They were an incredible team, incredible talent, and they've done so much together. What great memories. And that's the only thing I can think back is the incredible memories and the bond that we've created over the years with so many people. So I'm very, very thankful. And I do really appreciate this honor. Thank you very much.
He's the only player.
Bobby, congratulations. And the second toast goes to you, sir, and all your family and friends.
Thank you, George. I'll give you a big hug when I see you, buddy.
You got it. You got it. Very good. Very good.
George,
Eric?
did you need a refill before we do the last team? You're doing a lot of toasting here.
Got it covered. I'm always prepared, Steve. Come on. Eric, thank you very much for the introduction and nominating Bobby. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. And so on to our third induction. Inductees. I'm not quite sure how what words you use.
Yeah, really.
But right now we've got the Carmel Cyclones U19 national championship team, the women's team. We have Ron Boots, who was I believe the manager of that team, is going to be introducing that group. And I do know that Gene Lindley is traveling, coming back from what he called a work convention. I'm not quite sure how accurate that is or not, but I'll let Ron deal with that part of it. But Ron, what I would also like to make sure that we do after, your introduction, and I don't know if you're going to speak on behalf of Gene or if Mark is,
Yes.
how that's going to happen. I would also like to make sure that if any of the ladies that are possibly on this Zoom, I don't know if you've had a chance to look through to see who's here, but even if we just ask whoever's on the Zoom from that team to please introduce themselves, and even a very brief statement would be greatly appreciated. But again, I don't know if there's much more to introduce other than I know there's other stories to it, so I'm not going to go in that direction. But introducing Ron Boots, who will be kind of introducing our first national championship team out of youth soccer from the state of Indiana, the Carmel Cyclones. So Ron, it's all yours, please.
Thank you, George. A lot of you are probably wondering who I am and why am I here. I was the manager, and probably still am considered the manager of the Carmel Cyclones. And in behalf of the Cyclones, many of which are probably online, I haven't really been able to check to see how many are, because they're spread out all over the country right now. But in behalf of the Cyclones, we represented the Carmel United Soccer Club at that time. Now it's the Indiana Fire Juniors. And it's an extreme honor that we accept this women's team into the IYSA Hall of Fame. This group of young ladies and their commitment to success led them to the only national championship, which was 2007, as you said, George, for an Indiana team when all the teams played in one league. And that's under one unified umbrella, which at that time was USYSA, United States Youth Soccer Association. What a tremendous honor to be accepted in this, to be the first team into this prestigious Hall of Fame, and to join so many incredible members that have grown the game here in Indiana and represented it in such a professional way. All these members that have represented Indiana soccer have been an inspiration to all the players. And I think sometimes we lose track of that. But the Cyclones are included as those players. These young women have continued to play the game at the next level, with each one receiving a Division I college scholarship. What's even more impressive is by their senior year, 9 of them were captains of their Division I team, and several of them were captains their junior year at that Division I team. These women displayed commitment, strength, courage, and determination to succeed on the soccer field, and these are the same qualities that have been the driving force for all the successes today that these active members show in their communities and everyday life. I want to thank other individuals that have had a huge role in this success. Gene Lindley obviously was our coach. Max Cunningham, our assistant coach, I would imagine he's on the line. Some of the other people that were important building blocks that allowed me and Gene and I to build this team over the years. I'm just going to list some of them. Many of them may be on the line. Sarah Cantwell, Don Ralston, Alan Brown. And I'm sure I'm leaving people out here, but those were the people that kind of paved the way for me individually. John McCarroll, to name another one. Frank Dixon, can't leave Frank out. Russell G. Those are the guys that paved the way for us, that showed me the pathway on how to do this. And I'm also, I don't want to leave out the parents. The parents really have to be commended for their commitment to the travel, to the expenses, and the support of these young women as they grow and continue to grow in the world of soccer. I look forward to speaking in more detail at next year's induction and next year at the 2023 induction. And I don't know how many players we have on, but ladies, if you want to speak up, say a few words. I emphasize a few. You don't need to go, for 15 minutes, but now's your chance to speak up. We will be getting more information out to you players here in the next few weeks about what we're going to do next year. Thank you, George.
Thank you, Ron. And just to let everybody know, I'm just going to go very quickly. Gene sent me a letter, and it says, on behalf of the Cyclones team that represented CUSC, formerly Carmel United Soccer Club, now IFJ, it is an extreme honor to accept the women's team into the IYSA Hall of Fame. This group of young ladies and their commitment to success led them not only to the national championship in 2007 for an Indiana team when all the teams played under one league, under a unified league, the USYSA. It's a tremendous honor to be inducted into this prestigious Hall of Fame and to join so many incredible members that have grown the game to where it is today. All the members I've represented Indian soccer so professionally, and an inspiration to all the players playing today, including the Cyclone soccer team. These young women continued, and he goes on and mentions some of the things that Ron just said. I do know, I'm just going to kind of go down the list, but I was looking through this. Max Cunningham, I believe you're on the Zoom. If you'd like to say hello, please. Possibly unmute yourself. And
Yeah, I saw his wife on
There he is.
the
He's on.
picture here.
Max, you were unmuted. There you go.
There we go. Hi, George. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Congratulations. And
Thank you very much.
looking
And
forward.
I want to thank the Cyclones team and Gene and Ron for everything they did for all the girls and for allowing me to ride along with them on that great run that we made to the national championship. It was just an awesome event, and it was just an honor.
Fantastic. And ladies, those that are on, if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself and introducing yourself, I would appreciate it if you would also use, as you introduce yourself, use your name from 2007 so I can check you off on the list I have, so I can make sure.
Great point.
Gene knows who was, on this Zoom, and we'll go from there. So I'll turn it over to the ladies, please.
Come on, ladies, speak up.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we can.
Ashley.
Okay,
You have the
perfect.
stage.
All right. My name is Ashley Hedges. I was a member of the Cyclones team from U14, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I was trying to think about when I joined the Cyclones. So I joined the Cyclones U14 and played until the Cyclones could not play soccer anymore. I just want to thank the committee for honoring us. It's a really cool honor, especially to share it with my daughter. She has no idea. But thank you to the people who nominated us and the committee. This is a really cool honor to be the first team inducted. And I hope that looking forward down the road that there are more teams and more players to be honored throughout the years. So just wanted to thank everybody and everyone who took the time to come onto the Zoom tonight.
Thank you.
Thank
Ashley.
you.
Hi there, I'm Jessica Boots. I am the daughter of Ron Boots. I'm in the car, so I might be in and out of service. But I just wanted to hop on and thank you guys for this honor. It's a real privilege to be recognized, and our team has grown so strong together through the years. I started playing when I started the team at U8, I think, when the Cyclones began, and it's been a long journey, and we appreciate being recognized. Congratulations also to the other nominations.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I know we have some more on.
Hi, I'm Laura Baker, and I'm not gonna lie, I think I was probably U14, U15 when I joined the Cyclones, and I was a goalkeeper for them, and it's definitely an honor being introduced into the Hall of Fame. I'm actually headed into work right now, so I'm gonna have to hop off, but definitely thank you. And like being part of this group and with these girls, they're people I call friends still to this day. It was such a big part of growing up and being around them.
Thank you very much, Laura. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know there's a few others on.
Speak up, girls.
You never had this problem in 2007, did you, Ron?
No, I learned a lot of things coaching girls after coaching my older son in various sports, I'll tell you. And I wasn't even the coach.
I saw in the note in the chat bottom from the Katinsky family, I believe.
Yes,
Um,
from Cleveland.
Okay. Just the chat says, family, thank you for a wonderful opportunity for our daughter to play with all these amazing ladies.
Mhm.
Oops, someone's on an iPhone, I see.
No relation to Ihor Katinsky.
It's spelled differently, and
No,
for their sake, I hope not.
no.
There's a few of us who know what that means.
One of the things, George, I'd like to highlight, and we were truly an Indiana team. We had girls from Evansville, Maryville, South Bend, and Floyd's Knob. So particularly at the end there, those last 2 or 3 or 4 years. So it was not, and in addition to girls from all over the Indianapolis area. So we probably represented, and Frank Dixon could probably correct me on this, but I bet we had 7 or 8 high schools that were represented at the end, at least.
Great. Well, just so everyone knows, Rob, Bobby, and for the Carmel United team, you will all be receiving a very nice, what we think is a very nice plaque for your Hall of Fame induction. You'll have Hall of Fame pins as well. We are going to be making up some a little bit smaller plaques, but for all the I've got 24 players I think listed here or something like that.
Yes.
That Gene's given me, Ron, along with yourself and Max and Gene. But we will have individual plaques for that for everyone to have. We've kind of decided we're going to hold on to them till next year when everyone's here in person, that we can give not especially the big plaques for Ron and Rob and Bobby, and even for to be housed, whether it's at IFJ or whatever. But the small individual ones we'll save there, and we'll just ask Bobby and Rob to bring theirs in with them when they come in for the celebration, so we can kind of do it again, so to speak, and you guys can enjoy it from there. But we do plan on giving that, having that for everyone. And at that point, if someone doesn't come in for next year's induction ceremony, then we'll find an address and mail it out to everybody that we can, and we'll go from there. So just want to say thank you to everybody for that. But Steve, anything from you, sir?
No, I just think it's a great opportunity. I wish we could be doing this live. It's the second year in a row we've had to kind of go through the virtual. So next year's Hall of Fame reception will start at 9 a.m. and last till 6 p.m. Because we have to bring in our class of 2021 as well as the class of 2022 and the class of 2023. But as George said, hopefully we can do it in person. I think it's important to note that while it's nice and wonderful to be inducted into the Hall of Fame virtually, nothing beats getting together with your family and friends and being able to share your thoughts and say your thank yous, but also meet the other members of the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame as well. So definitely want to say congratulations to Bobby and Rob, known you guys a long time. And the 2017, George, we got to add Donnie Rawson maybe with an asterisk in helping the Carmel team. But congratulations to the first team inducted into the Indiana Soccer Hall of Fame. Definitely deserving to be the first one.
Yeah, and Steve and George, I just, on behalf of Gene, he coached at Carmel United as basically a volunteer. So to all the other people on the phone call, the Zoom, 2007, the soccer landscape was completely different than it is today. There wasn't as many professionals that were in the game. People like Ron Boots and Luann Boots, who donated so much time to get these girls to where they had to go. Luann is a legend all by herself, Ron, for what she did for Carmel United, as our administrator for so many years. And Gene was balancing a family, in an executive career, which he continues to thrive at. He was coaching at
think we lost you there.
Also coached, and I forget boys here, but but Gene also coached one of the most successful boys teams that Carmel United had. A number of the boys were on that Carmel High School state championship team that were the USA Today #1 team in the nation. So he storied career, all pretty much as a volunteer. He continues to give back to the game as a board member for IFJ Today, and he's way too humble to acknowledge any of his accomplishments, but he has put a ton of time and energy into soccer in Indiana, and he needs to be recognized for that as well. And I can't wait to be live next year to have Ron, Lewin, and others introduce him and give him the credit he deserves for all he's given to the game in Indiana.
Thank you for that, Mark. Chelsea, I think you're on. I don't think you spoke up. I saw something in the comment. Could you come on and say hi, please?
Hi, yeah, I just sent a message to everybody. Thanks to everyone who nominated us. It's a pretty cool honor. And also special thanks to our coaches and Ron Boots. Also, you guys made it awesome to play for the Cyclones and my teammates. It was just quite a ride. So very thankful to be a part of that team.
Outstanding.
Hey, George, to add on to what Mark said too, and Frank Dixon can contest to attest to this. Back in 2007, that team prior to 2007 had to kind of reinvent itself too, with the IHSAA coming down with only 6 members on a high school team from a given high school. So Ron, you went around the state, like you said, and had to get some of the players. So that was a good undertaking by Gene and everybody else, Ron and Mark. Kudos to you guys.
Very good. Well, I'm going to raise my third toast to the Carmel United team. I can't let it go. Sorry, folks. But,
Congrats.
Yeah, Mike Grubb, that's got to be straight tequila. It can't be water. I don't believe that.
Bobby and Rob, odds, the over under on George's bottle being empty right now?
No. I am saying
One with empty.
He's been toasting all day.
I've been toasted all day.
Yes.
But no, this is obviously it is what it is, but fantastic that so many people came on the Zoom tonight to celebrate the fantastic accomplishments of Rob, of Bobby, as well as the Carmel United team and everybody connected with that. Greatly appreciate everyone doing
Hey,
that.
George.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to interrupt you like I always do. Would also like to let everyone know that we got Jim and Sherry Green on, class of 2007 and the class of 2015. Mike Grubb, the class of 2019. George Perry, the class of 2017. Frank Dixon, the class of 2014. Ooh, we got some guy named Rob Jordan, class of 2022, and Bobby Porcinitas, class of 2022. And all of our adult women now with the Carmel Cyclones, class of 2022. And if I'm missing anybody, I'm trying to go through here and look, but
Steve Franklin, class of 2018.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
By the way, that last segment of Steve Franklin's was just to show you that yes, he can read.
Yeah.
He can read. It's capable of doing that. Didn't even have to have his glasses on to do all that. So it's just he's so proud of himself right now that we're going from there. No. So anyways, just thank you all so much. This has been fantastic. I'm keeping the channel open. If people want to chat, so if people want to have some kind of conversations, go for it. Like I said, and I know Steve was kidding, not completely kidding about 9 a.m., but we do plan on having, typically at the annual meetings, the Hall of Fame kind of gets together prior to the awards banquet, and we introduce the new inductees, and that's when they get a chance to thank who they want to thank and all that kind of stuff, because that portion at the awards banquet is a little bit shorter because it's such a big evening for a lot of people being recognized. But we will try to find a way to make that time slot a bit longer so we can enjoy each other and give everybody the opportunity to say what needs to be said. Which I think everybody did a fantastic job tonight. Rob, I expected it from you. Bobby, I'm blown away. I'm overly impressed. I can't believe it.
Of course you are.
But you know that had to come from me. So
Absolutely.
They both stayed under Yeftich time too, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, George, to answer Tom's question too, we did record this. It is still recording. I will download that so that it is into an MP4 format and get that out to everybody, and also put it into a YouTube link. That way all the members of the Cyclones and Gene, who couldn't be here, they can all relive it, because I think it's important part of history, that we continue to celebrate this. Bobby will have it on a loop on the Fort Wayne United Football Club website.
Appreciate it.
No, but we will get that out to everybody. And Tom, yeah, we'll pop it up on the website as well. I promise, George, that's all.
No, I don't believe a word of it. No, very good. So again, thank you all so very much for all everyone does for soccer in Indiana. It's a tremendous group. Tom Lapsley, when I do make my way up to Fort Wayne and take that young man out for a little bit of maybe a bite to eat and a cocktail, I'll be expecting you to join us because I want to be able to catch up with you, sir. There we go. Sounds good. Well, all the best, everyone. Thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, I'm going to stay on, keep the channel open if people want to chat. Bobby, you probably got some relatives there that you haven't talked to in a long time, or they didn't want to talk to you. I don't know which one.
Apparently, yeah. Well, you'll be hearing some Greek there. We're speaking some Greek. You better brush up on your Greek, George.
George, Bobby, so you know, it's kind of like a hole-in-one in golf. Your newest inductee, you got to buy now for the family.
I will, no doubt.
Sounds
George,
good.
can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Finally.
Hey, Nixon, worked it out.
I had to change computers to actually be able to talk, but I just want to congratulate everybody that's got the award today. And it's good seeing everybody. It's been a long time since a lot of people have been able to see each other. And I can't wait till next year. Especially good seeing the Greens together. Haven't seen them forever. So it's good to see them looking good and on this.
Thank you so much, Frank.
Well, Frank, Sherry's looking good. Let's not.
Jim is looking much better than he did a year ago. Come on, guys.
At least we can see his face now.
Yes.
One thing, Steve, I'd like to mention, and there are a lot of girls, including Angela Berry, who was on earlier, that I think some of the girls need to go.
Jim,
yeah,
I think Danny Yeftich is here. I think he thinks he gets to speak.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Danny.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Jim.
Okay, it's okay. Anyway, some of the girls might want to go and look up some of the girls that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame and have gone through Indiana's program that were on the Cyclones if they want to go on, or even some of the high school girls in that are in the process of moving on. So it's just a thought. And the girls, it's amazing that the girls that have been through the program, how much support they actually do give to the other girls that are involved right now. So it's just something to maybe mention.
Hi, Jim.
Danny Yeftich, class of 2013.
Hey, checking in. Hi, George.
What were you on Central Time, Danny? We started about an hour and a half ago, for crying out
Sorry,
loud. Where the heck have you been?
Sorry, I'm fine. Thank you. Sorry, I'm checking in now. Yeah, I'm good.
Steve, is it right? This would be similar to when about the time he came in, about when he turned 6 in his step-in speech, or yes, Sherry and Jim, I did say that.
He was outside playing soccer with his pig bladder.
Yeah, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Hey, Jimmy, you look good, brother. You look good, man.
Thank you. Danny, by the way, did come up and see me a couple times at the hospital. And you know what? even though we were the worst of enemies or best of enemies on the field, we still have this friendship or this relationship. And I want to thank him personally, because all the people that sent me information or sent me high hopes or prayers or whatever we're going to call it, it really did mean something to me. So thank you.
Hey, I love you, man.
Love you too.
You and everybody else, especially Steve. Steve was the main catalyst for all that. So him and Munga.
Just so everybody on here, if they aren't privy to what Danny and Sherry and Jim are talking about, Jim kicked COVID's ass 1, 2, 3 for 6 months, if not longer.
Yes, sir.
And he, as Sherry will tell you, we had a pretty good prayer chain going, but Jimmy had everybody from Bruce Arena to David Beckham to you name it, sending videos to him, wishing him a speedy recovery. And just so everybody knows, the power of prayer can do amazing things. And even though Jim was pretending to be asleep, so he didn't have to talk to Sherry, he could hear everything that was being said. But Jimmy, very, very happy that you're here with us, my friend. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
it. He's back. The red dog.
Okay, now I can mute Danny.
Bobby.
Danny boy.
Hey, you still alive, man. You didn't drown yet.
No, I didn't, man.
Hey, I saved your life at the culvert. People don't know about that.
They don't know about that. You and I are bonded forever. You and I are bonded forever.
Forever, man. Greeks and Serbs love each other, man.
Watch out, George. Thinking of stuff already. He's getting ready to speak. Get ready.
I don't even want to go there on that relationship right there. I mean, it would take me to a dark place that I don't want to be, I don't think.
That's my Greek brother, man. I love Bobby, man. We go way back. I grew up
way back.
Polikala, hey.
Polikala.
I just want to know when you get those knees fixed, Bobby, so you can get back to being 6 foot tall again. For
damn straight, man. I've been getting shorter every freaking year. I'm thinking for sure next year. Well, I seen you in pain. I'm like, do I really want to go through this? I might want to wait.
Mike Grubb's laughing at you guys like you have no idea.
Yes. Unbelievable.
We got history, man. History and geography.
Yes, we do.
This is what you got to look forward to, Rob and Bobby.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely awesome, man. Awesome.
All good. Rob, I think Matt was trying to reach out to you today. I don't know if he ever got through to you or not, but I know he was trying to reach out. You're muted, Rob.
Rob, you're muted. Matt wanted to say hi, but
there we go.
Didn't
Sorry
want to
about
talk.
that. Yeah, I did get a text from Matt this afternoon, and I responded in kind. But I always appreciate hearing from Matt. He's such an incredible kid, and we truly, and I really loved having him on the team. Great kid.
Appreciate that. No, we're good.
Sherry's like, finally, I don't have to sit next to this guy anymore. Golly.
After all these years.
George, I think all these other people that are muted right now are scratching their heads going, has this awards presentation just started to go down a slope? It would be correct.
Not yet. I'm gonna get some Uzo and some Slivovica too. So
yes.
First, couple shots of Uzo, couple shots of Slivo.
Oh my goodness.
Mike Grubb, could you translate, please?
Traditional drink of Greeks and Serbs, man. That's it. Uzo and Slivovica. Ask Terry Stefankovic when my father got him drunk before he recruited me.
And all of a sudden the screens start disappearing.
Oh my gosh.
It's going down real fast.
Danny boy.
George, you might want to turn off the recording.
Whoa.
Thank you for everybody attending. We are now going to put an end to the recording.
Who's
Recording
over
is
there?
off now.